All righty. Happy Tuesday, happy election day, happy August. Welcome to our special meeting. It is 4:30, and again, the date is August 4th. Actually, 4:31. Madam Secretary, can you do a roll call for us?
Kamal,
Here.
Laster,
Present.
Jackson,
Here.
Rogers is present, Isles,
Excused.
okay, Kennard,
Tardy
and Davis.
in the building. All right, can
We
we
have a
stand?
quorum.
Thank you. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're now at the acceptance of agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the August 4th, 2026 meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Rogers. Any discussion? Roll call.
Laster,
Yes.
Rogers is yes, Kamal,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Thank you so much. Seeing and hearing no public comment, we are moving forward. We have two action items from the Director of Teaching, Learning, and Professional Development, Dr. Tara Shammy. I don't know if you want to come up for a little refresher, brief refresher, and then we can move forward.
Hello, thank you for being here today. Just to recall what we asked for, I presented to you a few weeks ago about Hope Mifflin into reading and into math for K through 5. You should have everything in your packet. I also provided for today, I gave you a sample Bridges lesson, just something that you could see so that you understood the depth to how difficult it is to plan for Bridges. And hopefully you have everything in front of you so that whatever questions you might have, I can answer for you.
You need to read the motion.
All right.
Recommended motion. The topic is Houghton and Muffin, K. Bolton and Mifflin, K-8 curriculum implementation. Recommendation, move that the Board of Education approves the purchase and implementation of Houghton Mifflin into math, is that into math, and the purchase of the physical materials. Rationale, staff feedback, and instructional review data indicate that the current mathematics curriculum is not effectively building foundational skills and lacks vertical alignment between elementary and middle school, resulting in the gaps in student readiness and proficiency. Implementing a cohesive K-5 Houghton Mifflin Harcourt math curriculum will ensure alignment, strengthen instructional consistency, and support the development of essential math skills across grade levels. Approval of this purchase includes physical materials, will provide educators with the resources necessary to deliver high-quality, standards-aligned instructions and improve student outcomes. Budget implications is Math General Funds and ELA General Fund 35J. Exhibits are attached.
Crickets. Any support? It's been motioned by Rogers, supported by Davis. Any discussion?
Yes, I do have discussion, and it's going to be for both of these because I know it's just it's two of them, but this is for both of them. So when we last met, which would be roughly about 2-3 weeks, I asked you for a list of cons that I never received, and it's going to be hard for me to make a decision without a list of cons for many reasons, but for the main reason is I am on the sub-curriculum committee. I'm on the subcommittee for curriculum, and we should have a better me and you should have a better dialogue about this, especially when I asked for something specifically and I didn't receive it, and now we're here sitting at a special meeting and it's like vote, and we got to make this decision.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't realize you wanted me to send you answers. I didn't realize that. I do have one answer about what the cons are for Houghton Mifflin, and it was the technology piece. Adam and I talked about it. The thing that I was able to find that would be a challenge with Houghton Mifflin, he implemented in his previous district, and it was a heavy lift on the tech side. Really hard to find like a list of things that are cons in
Oh,
it.
just one second. I'm not talking about like a list of cons, and that's great, and that's on the tech side. But I'm saying from the teachers, I was looking for something more like a district that used this and what the complaints that they might have. Just like if we had a district, okay, every district that uses Bridges is like major complaints, right? It's the same complaints, right? So I was looking for something more like a district that this had been implemented in, that was able to integrate it into their system. See, the tech side, that's not a con for me. I'm more focused on how the children would adapt to it and how the teachers would adapt to it. Those are the cons that I was looking for. And that's great that you spoke to Adam about the cons that he would face, but Adam's not going to be teaching or learning it. Our children are. And going forward, if our children have cons that we could have pointed out, then that's like a disservice to us when you could have provided that.
I agree. I understand exactly what you're saying. I think my response to that is with Houghton Mifflin, like I could go through it and I could find things I don't like about every lesson
you.
probably in it.
Not that you don't like, that this has been in a district, just like Bridges. Every district that has Bridges, they have definite cons. They don't like this. One of them is that the math, you draw pictures, right? That's a con. That's a con that if we survey 5 districts, or even if we just talk to people that we may know, other curriculum directors, other teachers, just students or parents trying to help, that would be a con. Like if we're selling this, that, okay, this is what we can use and you can finally help your child with math again, that would be a pro, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a pro that we're looking for. So we need cons that we could look for and we can implement, that we could see and we could say, okay, we got to keep our eye on this. If it's a con in 4 out of the 5 districts and the people we talk to, we got to keep our eye on this. Because again, that's great what you can see for yourself, but you're not teaching it. You're not learning it. So we need to say, just like Bridges, when the superintendent walking there, why are they drawing pictures for math? That's a con, right? That's a con that everybody has stated this is a con.
The only thing I would say about that being a con is if I asked the curriculum directors about Bridges, they would not call that a con. They would tell me that it's going really well, regardless of scores. And so it's a tricky question because a lot of people would not identify that as a con. Most districts who are using Bridges right now stand strongly behind
The
that.
directors won't identify it as a con because they bring it in and they don't want to seem like they're wrong. But when you talk to the teachers and the parents, that's a con. That is a con if we ask a person to do math problems and they start drawing. That's actually one of the reasons we're getting away from it. That's actually one of the reasons we're saying we need to make sure that we can help our children with math again, because that is a con that can't be done. Like, I never learned Bridges, so if my daughter bring that home, that's a con. And then the next person I'm gonna talk to will be their teacher and say, hey, they drawing pictures, like this is math, this isn't art class. That's a con. So when I'm saying cons, I'm not talking about the directors. I'm talking about the teachers who teach it. They would say that was a con because if they having these issues where they send the homework home and they can't get done, and it's something as simple as that, then that's a con. A con mean not a pro, right? The kind that you are talking about, like those are things that you're concerned with. I'm talking about the people on the front line, because even after they do PD, if they don't go in there and they don't feel comfortable with it, these are things that we should have known before it was time to vote, to say, okay, well, they had that problem in Westwood, they had that problem in Redford, this is a problem. So we should be looking out for this. That's what I was looking for. I didn't get anything, by the way, but that's what I was looking for. The cons that you just stated were more based on you and based on Adam. Yeah, it's going to be hard to integrate. It's a new program. We're trying to do it so many days before school starts. Like, this should have really been on the agenda in May. So in June, we could have voted, and then he could have got to work integrating it. We had the new phone system and stuff coming up. So those would be cons for him. The con for me is that I didn't get any information. And the con for me is that I'm sitting here on a Tuesday in a special meeting, supposed to vote on this today, and we trying to figure it out. And I still don't have any cons that other people can speak to besides curriculum directors and IT professionals.
I mean, I guess I could give you impressions from other people who have implemented this in their classrooms. I could
Well, I
share
already asked for that.
complaints.
You didn't give me that. That's what I asked for. I asked for cons, and if you were unclear on what I meant by cons, you didn't reach out and ask me that. See, this is serious, and what I mean by this is serious. This is going to make or break our community schools for the next 4 years. This next 4 years is so crucial for our community schools that we can't afford to make a misstep like a new curriculum that might not stick, and then we lose more students because we lose students going from 5th grade to middle school and from middle school to high school. See, our high school only has maybe roughly, well, we don't even have 1,000 students in high school, right? But we have 1,000 students that could have went to our high school if we had the right curriculum and a curriculum that aligned with what their parents want them to do. The same thing can happen going to junior high. If we lose the junior high in these next 4 years, then this school district is going to be like the last school district that I paid attention to, which is Inkster, and it's not going to exist. And that's not what I'm here to vote on. I'm here to vote on things that, okay, this curriculum, because our curriculum director got with her subcommittee chair and did give the cons, is something we can vote on that we can feel proud. I feel rushed. I don't make decisions when I'm rushed. I feel very rushed right now, right? And this is something that, for one, like I said, it should have been on the agenda in May, okay? Because we knew that this is what we wanted to do. We knew that this is what we wanted. We knew when we spoke, me and you, the first time, the outlook we had, and I asked about ELA, and I asked about reading, and I asked about math, and you said you had these grand ideas, and now we're sitting here. When do we start school?
September.
We sitting here August 4th to try to implement something by September 8th that even if the teachers liked it, they not going to like it because they're going to feel rushed, like we just pushed it on them, right? You don't like to feel like that in your job, right? And we don't want to give that to our teachers. And then we got to work out the bugs. There's so much stuff that we could have done before sitting here today. And now we sitting here today. This is great that you have this, right? But it's not great because we have to make this decision today to make sure it's implemented, and it's just not enough time, right? So, I mean, I understand everything you're about to say, right? I understand that, but I'm just, this is ridiculous, to be honest with you. Like, we should have been did this. Like, this is so crucial to the district right now, and we here like today.
All I can tell you is my top priority since getting here was identifying curriculum. I talked about it in cabinet every week. And so this has been my priority since I got here. I don't control the agenda for the board meetings, but this has been on my focus for months and months.
No, you don't control the agenda for the board meeting, but this is so important that we would not say, oh, no, let's not let Dr. Shammy, who here to make sure the curriculum is in order, not get on the board meeting. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how important this is. Like, you really should have been, like, presenting something to us like every board meeting so we could have been narrowed it down and not here on August 4th that's something that we got to start September 8th, and then the teachers come back when August what?
This is certainly not my preference, and I totally understand what you're talking about.
It's not my preference either, and this is not personal. That's how important this is. Because if we implement a curriculum today that does not stick and align with our students, then, like I said, this next 4 years is so critical that I don't want to be a part of the reason that it didn't go right. You should want to feel like that too.
Oh, I do. I do. And it's why I've spent so many years researching all of this. It's why I brought that to you months and months ago. And it's why I continue to say that this curriculum has nothing to do with me. It's about stabilizing this system so that teachers and students have what they need in front of them. But what we did do was go through, our teachers did have this in their hands, and they used it in their classrooms. So they gave me feedback directly by practicing throughout, since I got here. They have had opportunities to use the materials. So I do know how it went in other districts. I was not clear on what feedback you were looking for as far as complaints or things like that from other teachers in other districts during implementation. That was not something I understood from the last meeting. My apologies.
Okay, so you just told me that you do know how it went in other districts, and this is something that you're trying to get the district to buy. So that's even more reason that should have been a part of the presentation. Okay, this district said this about it. This district said this about it, right? Like,
So since we're here now, Dr. Shammy, and I get it's a passionate topic because we know what the board, our job is to hire and fire the superintendent, curriculum right after. And even though you do a great job and all of that, if the teachers don't rock with this and what he said, we don't get it, they're going to blame the board. Essentially, that's what's going to happen. And then that's on the backs of us that we didn't let down a district and all of that. So since we're here, like we're looking at the lack of rigor, core skills, the concerns that came from Bridges, and you said that you did get feedback and like the top priorities of what were like some cons in your eyes. So do you have a plan that maybe we can share, or y'all get in the, I mean, because we here now.
I think
And I'm
I
not,
need
and
a
I
little
don't,
bit more clarity on what you're looking for, because when I thought of cons, I was thinking of the implementation. So I was thinking along the lines of how do we, like the technology pieces of it. I was thinking of the big picture. Do I know about the complaints from upper elementary teachers in another district where they are implementing that this year? I do, but I can't, but I only know that because someone called me to share them with me. But my response to those complaints was that the complaint that they had was that there were just too many things. I couldn't do everything in fourth grade. The beauty of Hope Mifflin is you don't have to. And that's the difference between this program and something like Bridges. And so it wouldn't be hard to find teacher complaints about any program.
So I'm not looking for teacher. Okay, this is a con, right? Let me give you an example on something else, right? If I say to somebody who drives an F-150 right, and I'm thinking about buying an F-150 or a Ram, right? I drove a Ram. I'm thinking about the F-150. I talked to the F-150 guy, and he say, yeah, it's great, but, right? So, but if you're used to this doesn't do this. If you want better this does that. So he gave me the pro, he gave me the con. Great, thank you. So I go to another person who drives a Ram and say, I'm thinking about getting an F-150. You drive a Ram, this is better in the F-150, but this is not as good in the Ram. See, those are pros and cons from people who actually use it. One teacher saying something might be too much could be because it just got pushed on them. In the rollout, everything has to be done and situated in the rollout. I come from a marketing background, right? Before we even get to the ground, we have to roll it out from the top all the way down to make sure the person on the ground get how we trying to give it to them. So before we have to roll it out. The quicker, the smoother the rollout, the better people like it. When we rush rollouts, people don't like it. They felt rushed, right? So one teacher complaining that something is too much isn't what I'm looking for. If you know people who've used this before, just like with Bridges, you just see what they saying. They don't even have to say, hey, this is a con. Like, they can just be like, Bridges. As soon as we say at Bridges that one day, President Laster told you everything about Bridges that anybody else about Bridges say the same thing. It's in concert, but it's not because they was at the concert together. They saw the same show and didn't like it. That's a con. We here now, though, today, so we go see what we go do. But I'm not being held responsible for, like, something being rushed when we had ample amount of time, if you ask me. You just told me you spent years doing research. I don't know if you mean with this particular curriculum.
I've been researching curriculum and instruction for 20 years, but with this particular one for the last few, because I've been a curriculum
So
director
that's
for so
even
long.
more reason you should know the cons. If you research
I want to be
something,
completely honest with you, though. I can't find a long list of cons
that's
because
not even
it's about
realistic with
pedagogy.
something, with anything, but something is like important as curriculum to teach children. You can't find cons, then this can't be right for us because nothing is without a con. Nothing that's for sale is without a con.
I think maybe I don't know exactly what kind of cons you're looking for, because the ones that I'm able to identify don't seem to line up with what
Okay,
you're looking for
I
as a
said
con.
con, you said he gonna have a problem implementing it, right? So you do have in your mind something that's a con, right? But I'm saying that's not a con to the teachers because they don't even know what's going on behind the scenes in the IT. Or that's a lot of work on him, but they don't know that. That's not a con to the teachers. That's a con to our IT professional and it might just be because he's being rushed also.
But
I mean,
it can turn
is it
into a con for
because-
teachers if they can't access so for me, I identified that as a con because if it's not working on the back end, teachers won't have access.
But he
on
can
the
fix
front end.
that, so that's not a con. Like, once he get it and get to rolling and get to implementing it and get to moving and shaking, doing his IT thing, he can fix that. So that's not a con. Because what don't work on day one, if it work on day 5, we should clap for him because he worked through his cons, which is with the program. What I'm saying is con is the learning that we're going to present to our kids. This is a curriculum. We're going to present them learning. What's the con to it? And you just told me you've been researching this. So out of years of researching this, you never said, that might not be right. I don't like that. Let me write that down as something that's not a positive. Let me not say con, not a positive. Okay, that's not positive for what we're looking for. What's not positive that you're seeing with this that we're looking for? Let's not call it a con. It's just not it's not in alignment what we're looking for. Let's say that. Do you see anything here that's not in alignment with what we're looking for?
No, I don't. With Hope Mifflin, I don't, because it's aligned to every single standard. I can open up their text, I can open up their platform, and I can find every single thing I want that's aligned to standards. And so with ELA, I know all of the standards and how they spiral from K through 12. And so when I open up a Hope Mifflin book, because I have that background knowledge, I can immediately find inferencing, summarizing, all the things, reading through context, because I understand those standards. And so when I look at Bridges, though, because I understand those standards, I see the holes. I see the holes with the pedagogy, with the theory behind it, how it's being presented to kids. I can quickly identify those things. But with Hope Mifflin, I don't have that list of cons for you, and it's not because I don't want to have
I'm
a
not
list
saying
of
it's
cons.
that. So like, let's not even put that on the record. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's because you don't want to have the list of cons. I'm saying I asked for a list of cons and didn't receive it, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way or thinks like it just can't be too good to be true. You just said it aligned with every
Oh,
single
there's
standard.
nothing that's too good to be
Right,
true,
but that's just how you
alignment
made it. That's how
is
you made it.
quantified. So alignment to the standards is something I can quantify. I can open up that book and I can show you exactly where each standard is covered. Here's the activity.
Okay. Is it another curriculum that you can do that exact same thing with?
McGraw-Hill.
Okay. But we didn't go, you not presenting McGraw-Hill because what?
Their texts are not as culturally responsive. They do not have access to as many diverse texts as Hope Mifflin. So Hope Mifflin has a very specific, intentional list of culturally responsive texts where they have women authors, black and brown authors. And McGraw-Hill just did not have that
And that's
robust.
a con, right?
100% a con.
Right, and so you see how you gave me that con immediately. You're saying that this has no cons like that.
Because I can't find those big ones in Houghton Mifflin.
Not
if
big,
I'm missing
not
something,
big. Any, because what's big to you and what's big to the person teaching it aren't going to be the same thing. That's why such thing is like you have a big problem, we have the same issue. That's not a big problem to me, right? See, this is a big problem for us, right? This is going to be if the work or not, it's still the same. The problem is we're switching curriculums in August. We start school in September, and the teachers need to have a PD. Right? The IT needs to integrate it into the system, right? All of this go hand in hand, right? See, his problem is he got to integrate it. That's a big problem for him. It's not too big to me because I don't have to do that, right? The teacher's problem is they got to understand, learn, be able to roll it out, be able to have the parents understand that we got a new curriculum, so don't worry about drawing math problems no more. We're going back to the old way, right? That's a parent problem, right? My daughter going to this district, my daughter going to the middle school. She just got out of 5th grade, so she not going to experience the new, right? But eventually, if we keep this, she will, right? But we've been worked out the problems, so that's not a problem to me, right? But what about the people who going through it start September? Is it going to be a learning curve because we have to teach them something till the teachers understand it? That's all I'm saying.
Was there any hesitation when the teachers, I know you said they had it in their hands, was there anything that was brought up? Because like we said with Bridges, you can immediately be like, whoop, Was there, and I get what you're saying. You're like, okay, inferencing, all of that, like you have
Yeah.
something where you can align it to. And obviously we picked you for a reason.
great.
Okay. And
Certainly.
so, again, too, I don't think anybody's negating your work, all the things that you do, because you're going to have to get out here and push this for the teachers, too. You got a lot riding on your shoulders as well. I mean, this is what you do.
And I'll be honest, they're all asking me for it. Like, the
Yeah.
principals are so excited that that this meeting got scheduled. And I know it's not ideal. I wish we could have done this earlier in the year. There was a lot going on, but the teachers are why I asked for us to be able to push this forward, because I can't have them start the year with Bridges and Collaborative Classroom without the materials that they can actually utilize in their classrooms. But I apologize for the timing. This is just how it worked out.
Any other questions from the board?
Madam President, Mayor. First of all, thank you for bringing this information before us, but I think for where I stand, and having to make a decision and looking at it from the instructional piece versus the technology piece, and I understand the differences between that, but looking at it from a parent, okay, and what we represent, I was just talking to some individuals this weekend, and I found out where a neighboring district was busing Romulus kids, students over into their district, and I asked the reason why, and why aren't they coming here? And this bus is in this location every year, and it's a full bus of Romulus students. And one of the things, the biggest thing they said to me was the curriculum. Who's utilizing this? I don't know. We don't have anything. We got just the information.
Yeah, I guess I didn't understand that was what you were looking for. It was
No,
like other
I asked
districts
the
in there.
question. I asked the
Yeah.
question at the last meeting to have a comparison. I believe I did. I don't know if it wasn't clear, or maybe I wasn't clear. I'll just say it that way. I'll take that. So to help us make a decision like this, not to say that this information is not important that you have in front of us, it is. But, I kind of feel the same way, there's nothing against your work ethics
not
or whatever, but moving forward, when things, I think, from a board where we are now, we want to be better astute in making decisions, okay? And so we all are working towards that, and hopefully, with this experience, we could do that moving forward. So that's the statement I had to make on this. So to have a project and the implementation is coming out in September, and we're here in August. We got to make that decision, whatever. That's what it is. But my thing is, how do we know that it's going to be that successful for our students?
It's a great question. And like
I
you
know
said, there's
you
no
can't give-
guarantee, right?
No, it's no guarantee, but you can come close to an analysis and saying, based on this,
Yeah.
this is what my findings are. This is the analysis. This is what a district of this size or whatever metrics that you're using. Okay, that would have been helpful. Okay, thank you.
Oh, go ahead. Absolutely.
Mr. Brock has some feedback that he's just gotten about Hope Mifflin that I will let him share.
This may not answer your question, Mr. Jackson, but sometimes the benefit of being married to a fourth grade teacher, I can share some cons if that will be helpful. It's one teacher, but I don't know if this will be helpful. Does the board want to hear the cons from a teacher who implemented this year? Okay, let me go back to that. No, I'm addressing the board, but you specifically. And I'm going to go through there's somewhat of a list, so just so the board is aware. This is HMH ELA or reading specifically fourth grade. There's an expectations, and Dr. Shammy alluded this already. There are 3 lessons in one day, 43 minutes, 57 minutes, 38 minutes. No one has that much time for language instruction in one day. Kids should not be sitting for instruction that long. The online platform is not user-friendly. The district did not provide enough teachers, enough training for teachers, and the other con was that there was no teacher input. This person is telling me, my wife is telling me, please make sure you have teacher input, which we had, is what my understanding. She said that was a con for them. She's in a bigger district, not anything comparative to ours, but they did go from Words Their Way and Wonders, which are both ELA programs, to HMH last year. So let me keep going here. They're not piloting math, so I asked about math, sorry. I was hot fingering a bunch of stuff. She said a con was the expense, but again, this did not go through their normal process. She said that was part of the problem. She said the other part is make sure that you have, when you're implementing, if the board decides to move in this direction, that you have good trainers. She had a half-a-day PD and some PD throughout the rest of the year, but the trainers were not all good, that whatever trainers were good, that those are the trainers that should be training. So because they had so many different PDs, some were good, some were not good, because obviously it's the trainer. So she said what they recommended to the district was when the feedback is positive about a trainer, try to get that same trainer for all of your trainings. That was sort of a plus and a con. she said a positive to the program is that it is all inclusive, and she didn't use the writing portion of it. She used the reading and the grammar and the word study, and she said it does include quality text. They're just a little too long, so a pro and a con. She talks about professional development. She got a half day right when school began. I asked if it went through they have a curriculum council in their district. I asked, did it go through, was it forced upon you, or did it go through your process? And she said there was a decision made that it was forced upon teachers, and teachers were upset, to your point, that it was forced upon them with no teacher input. So that's when she reiterated, please make sure you have teacher input on some level, whatever that looks like for your process. It says that they were only told, we were told that this was the only program currently available to coincide with, I don't know what SOR stands for. I don't know if you know. Okay, I wasn't sure what that meant. So this was a program thrust upon her with no input. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I just
And
thought,
if we vote yes on it today, our teachers are gonna feel the same way, that it was just thrust upon them.
I don't know that I would speak for all the teachers that way, because if she had teacher input, they looked at curriculum. I don't know that you piloted it. I don't know that I would speak for all teachers in that manner, because if you had teacher input, it's the job of the committee that she selected for them to go out and say, listen, this is the program we looked at. This is what we piloted. Yeah, you're going to have some staff that are unhappy about the decision, but um, I don't, I've heard more negatives about what we're currently using, and I think that one was a program that was thrust upon them without any input, where I think this process was done completely different. And so that's right.
Let me clarify what I meant, right? So just like when people come in front of the board, we need three three proposals, right? Like when you came for the CMED, we had three proposals, right? If you say to a teacher, check this out, but the only thing is you going up against what we already had. This is great because we hate this. You understand what I'm saying? This is great. This new thing is great because we hate this old thing. So you can put anything in front of us, and we're going to like it better than that. We didn't have three things that you didn't say, here go, well, I don't know. I know you. This is what you got in front of us. So when I say that, I'm saying she didn't put this company, that company, versus in the company we have. Like I said, I also just said I don't know if you did that. Right. Okay.
And probably because of your background and not speaking for you, McGraw-Hill could have been picked if they would have had more diversity in them. Because we all know McGraw-Hill.
McGraw-Hill.
I mean, back in the
McGraw-Hill
day, we used McGraw-Hill. That's why I'm like, I'm familiar for
Yeah,
sure.
we have McGraw-Hill in high school. Yeah, and same issue there too with limited, that's the feedback from teachers, and that sort of replicates in elementary, but, and Wonders was McGraw-Hill, so this district that all that feedback came from, they're giving up Wonders to go to HMH, and part of that is that it was rated number 1 at the state level. So the state came out with their list, and it's into reading and into math at the top of that list. And so that's part of why a number of districts are moving in this direction now. But it's so tied to the pedagogy of that constructivist math and the leveled reading that it's a shift in instructional practices. But I want to share one thing. So as far as our teachers, they won't feel like this has been thrust upon them. So you have in front of you a list too. I just copied and pasted their comments. I asked only classroom teachers. I didn't ask the interventionists. I didn't ask any auxiliary staff, just K through 5 classroom teachers, where their comfort level was. When Dr. Edmondson and I were talking about how this would work, is it going to be too much? I sent them a survey, and I said, there's no judgment. Like, if we need to stick with what we're doing, that's okay. I want to make sure you're comfortable. But share with me your thoughts. Who's ready to do both? Do you want to slow it down completely? Or who's ready for one? 80% of them said, I want both right now. And the comments that they made, I made a sheet for you so you could just see. Those are just their exact words copied and pasted based on their experiences having it in their hands. So I feel good about the teachers and their comfort level with it. Only 4 of them said I would rather wait and just do one. 4 said, let's start with math and we'll do into reading the following year. But the other 20 said, please just give us both. Some of them are not using either program currently, and so they're sort of using different things all over the place. And so they're the ones that are saying, yeah, we're ready for this. And you have those words in front of you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Comments from me. Certainly, first of all, thank you, and thank you, everyone here. Few things for me. In my role, I just say this, I think I've stood in front of the board before when things don't go well, and I take responsibility, period. You want to ask me what would I do differently now? For sure. One, I think this is a communication problem based on what you just said. If you sent an email or a text or whatever and it was not answered, that's a problem. Assuming that's what you said, that's the problem. So if that's the case, then there should have been follow-up. That's what you did say, though. I'm not saying that you didn't. I'm saying
I
that's.
asked her, it was verbal.
Oh, okay,
It
okay,
was
okay.
actually
So,
the ta-
okay,
I asked at the table, and I didn't
Okay.
receive anything.
okay,
And I did not follow up because I had a follow-up day, and this meeting is before that follow-up day.
okay.
So that's what it was. It wasn't.
Okay, no, I'm on it anyway. So I wrote communication, then I had an arrow that shows follow-up. Has to be follow-up to any board question. For me, something like this, it needs to be emailed. I mean, I joke about myself. I don't want this to be about Dr. Shammy necessarily, but on myself, I'm like, I can't remember everything that's thrown at me. But certain things I should remember, okay? And I need your help. So if you have a question like that, make sure that I get it. Even if you send it to somebody on my cabinet, I need to know it. Because, we joke in this room about, Dr. E, not you all, them. Joking, Dr. E, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forget. But I'm serious about certain stuff. I don't expect to get to the board in this. I don't ever expect that. I just don't. Many of you have been with me for 3 to 5 years. Last year, you know that. I always got to throw that in there, so just to remember. But I need to know that. Okay, when we come up here, we knew about this. I could have been better, but I just don't know. I don't remember that was stated. And it is important. And I need to have that. And she needs to have that so that we can be better up here. Quarterly, monthly meetings. If there's a subcommittee, we need to make sure that we have these subcommittee meetings, whether they're quarterly or monthly. I just need to know that they exist. Okay, I'm not going to be at all of them. I can't. Nor do I want to be at all these meetings. I don't. But I want to make sure that what we say we're going to do, that we do. Okay, from my folks here, we need to make sure that we're going to do what we say we're going to do, so that you feel prepared. You shouldn't have to make a decision when you don't. I won't tell you what I would do, but I'm not going to do it. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to do it. Not going to make me. I'm not going to do it, period. Okay, maybe y'all get it right next time. But we need to make sure that these things exist. A couple other things based on what I heard. I did say to Dr. Shammy, I don't know about 2 curricula. Like that, J, curricula. More than one, that's right. More than one curricula. That's Latin. Just so that you know. Curriculum, singular, curricula, plural. There we go. Always a lesson. And I said that. I said, man, that seems like a lot to learn 2 things. And I had that conversation with her, and she assured me that people wanted to. Okay. I have no reason to believe that that's not the case. I just think that's hard as a teacher to do 2. For me, what? Where are we going to get the time to do that? Okay. But if that's stated and people want that, then they better do the work. Y'all want that? You want 2 curriculum? You got it. Or curricula, 1 curricula, but it's plural. So it's not 1, but more than 1. Bottom line is, if that's the case and we vote for that, then I don't want to hear not 1 complaint. Okay? If you all said that you wanted this, then you better do it. It's just that simple. And that should be the case. If that's the vote, whether it's today or if it's in 3 months, if that's what you say, particularly, or if the district says we're going to, that's what you're going to do. Okay? Our kids deserve it. We don't talk about much that we talk about that at the table somewhat, but our kids deserve it. And that goes back to the next thing, just what I heard. First of all, if there's a bus in this community, I need to know that, okay? How do I not know that? I mean, I know that there was one, but they not coming necessarily here. But I need to know that because I meet with superintendents and we talk about this stuff. Let's you bring a bus in. And I need to share with you that I was confronted about a bus going into another school district that I didn't even know that we were doing. I said, okay, I won't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that to a colleague. Go take a bus into their neighborhood. You don't do that. You don't. Okay, you sell your district so that people want to come to your district. You don't provide a bus into somebody else's district. You don't do that. So if that's still the case or somebody else is doing that, I need to know about that. I have not, and this is no disrespect, but listen, I'm at this point in my life and my career where I can say this. I've not heard anybody say I'm leaving for the curriculum here. I've heard athletics, absolutely. Curriculum, I haven't necessarily heard that because I'd want to know Well, what's the difference between, since you're leaving for the curriculum, what's different 10 years ago? Since it's the curriculum, what's different? What can you tell me about last year or 10 years ago than now? I don't know. Most people can say that. I dealt with, some of you were there when a city council person got up, wasn't upset with me, but I approached the person. And the person said, I don't want to go into it, but said, well, the achievement. And I said, well, the achievement been like this for how long? You're going to make me I'm the person that's responsible for the achievement for the last 20 years? Let's talk about growth. I'll talk about growth. I have no problem talking about growth, but achievement isn't just my issue, your issue. We need to get into those households because I still have flashcards. You all know what I sent, the email I sent out, that I will work with kids. You take the flashcards, I'll work with you. I'll give your kid 30 minutes on this. I still have flashcards. I'm still mad about that. So when we talk about this district, we need not just dog teachers. If we're going to dog teachers or dog the superintendent or dog the directors or dog the school board, we need to look at a comprehensive look at the community and say, where's your part? Where's your part? I can tell you in my role, I am trying everything I can do to communicate when I have parents telling me that I send too many emails. Do you read them? Do you know what I'm reading? Do you know why I send them? Because I have a concern too based on what I see. I wrote that too. Curriculum and scores. If people are going to talk about scores and align it to curriculum, I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I can't tell you that my son is doing well because of the curriculum is so good. I'm a parent. I don't even know what the curriculum you're using. I have no idea. But I can tell you what I do at home with my son or my sons. I can tell you because I understand that my child's first learning comes from me, nobody else. And I take that seriously. It comes from me. I don't expect the teacher. I expect me. Every day I'm in the books. Well, I was when I was in that situation with my kid. If I have a bad teacher, I'm moving. If I have a bad experience, I'm moving because I know what I can do. I don't know what teacher we have. I don't know what curriculum, but I can guarantee whatever the curriculum is, I'm going to be invested as a parent. It's a way deeper conversation, period, that needs to happen not only in this table, but in this community. Okay, I share your concerns. I think we all share the concerns with just the general numbers. Okay, but also, as I say, when you have a community that has 2-3 charter schools in it, that's a problem in itself. When you talk about school of choice, that's a problem in itself, something that didn't exist 20 years ago. And now it becomes curriculum. It's a little bit deeper than that. And I'm willing to have that conversation community-wide, not just here, community-wide. And you all know, I'll be at every event and I will set up a booth. You want to talk about why the school is looking, the school district is looking, I'll be glad to sit there. I will be glad to sit there. It's beyond curriculum. You can throw curriculum in front of anybody. It's way beyond that. It's a greater, deeper discussion that should be had, not at this table, but at the community table. And I'll be willing to work with you all for that. I'll be glad to. Whatever the decision is, the decision. For me, whatever the decision is, the decision. I do feel some kind of way about Bridges because I didn't know that. I walked in, I'm like, what? Okay, but it goes beyond that. When I'm begging parents to make sure that your child can multiply, it takes 10 minutes. That's all you need a day, 10 minutes. Can't do 10 minutes. Come into third grade and you still can't multiply in the fourth grade. How can we talk about curriculum in the fourth grade when we still can't multiply in the third grade? Or in the fourth grade, we're doing decimals. And I don't care if you talk about this community or if you go to the next community, northeast of here or northwest of here, we all have somewhat of the same situations. Same way, if you do the demographic, and I'm not talking about the racial demographic. If we talk about the demographic, the economic demographic, schools are almost all the same based on their demographic. I had a few things to say. I feel very comfortable. I appreciate your passion. Appreciate it. I just wish that I could have done a little bit more on my end, okay? And it's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't hold me accountable, okay? Dr. Shami is serious about, obviously, about curriculum, but there's some other pieces beyond that we missed. So I'll take responsibility for that we missed it, I missed it. You start with me, I missed it. I'll be better, I promise you. I'll be better because it's not going to happen again.
I take accountability too because instead of saying I should have just emailed because I did do a reminder, but it was verbally. So it should have just been, following up, hey, we're having this, make sure that X, Y, and Z was taken care of. But
It's all good.
also,
Listen, I
Dr.
appreciate
Shammy,
it.
at the end of the day, just being real, the sins of the past of you're taking that on. Now you come and be the face of something, and you have to deal with all the stuff from history. Just like sitting in this board seat, we making decisions and we getting judged for stuff that happened eons ago. So it's just, you know what you got to do. We have to support that, push Dr. Edmondson to do what he has to do. But listening to you saying like longer text and things like that, I think Kevin said that. Can kids sit through that? Now, is the behavior people in place when little Ron is acting up because he can't sit through a long passage? Now he's disturbing the classroom. They can't get the lesson. Principals got to be in place to do their job. So it's everybody well-oiled machine, or this is not going to work, even if you do your best work. So, I mean, I guess I can say that from sitting in a school and seeing a curriculum being pushed out and seeing it day to day. But sometimes when you don't sit in that seat, it is hard. It's like, okay, looking at you, like you bringing this to us. What are the pros and cons? And we all passionate because this has to work, as Trustee Jackson said. It have to. It's a non-negotiable, and that's like tough when if it go right, we might not even get a thank you. But if it go wrong, this will be full. So, anybody else have anything to say?
I'm going to add to that too for everyone. Growing up, being born in 1969 and going through a school district, I can't tell you. I'm so honest about it. I never read a book by somebody black ever. The school? My school? Oh, they didn't give me a thing. But my parents did. At some point, there's a conversation. My parents made sure. They didn't depend on the school because they knew about the school district. And I'm not telling us that our school district, I'm just saying, I love Dr. Shammy. Listen, I'm not going to make a decision whether or not the texts look like my kids. I do care. I do. But I can provide that as the superintendent. I can make sure that every parent gets a book by such and such. Okay, there's things that we can do. Okay, yes, I think kids of color should have models like that. Absolutely. But as parents, that's your job too. It's our job as parents to do those things. This is 2026. We're still talking about stuff that should have been done in 1950. We're still talking about it. At some point, it's time for some folk to start acting. And you want to read something about a person of color, go buy yourself a book. How about that? Heck, you can even listen to them now. You don't even have to buy it at the store. But I'm just real passionate. I'm just tired. I'm just tired just in general. It has nothing to do with here. I'm at the point in my life where I am and my career. Enough of the excuses. Let's go. Enough of the excuses. Okay, a lot of people have some work to do, including the school district, but we got to start in those homes too.
Thank you.
Said that, so I'm gonna come back on there. What you mean? I imagine you were just saying thank you for being passionate, but
Dr. Shammy, that we know that we have a lot of students that right now are in 5th and 6th grade at a 1st grade level. So it's like I said, it has to be to work on all parts, especially, I mean, we putting it on the teachers. It's gonna have to be the support there because what do you do with a 5th grader? Can't even read the text.
I think that's like a big part of this conversation, right? Like that's the hardest part. And this week I got an email about a high school teacher who's using extra math in his classroom at the beginning of class every day. And I questioned it because I know what extra math is, and he was teaching accounting and using extra math as a way, because the kids couldn't multiply and they couldn't do those basic facts, but extra math was designed for little kids. So I reached out and said, wait a second, and we need to provide you something that's more appropriate for the students at your level. And that's what I spent some time doing today, is trying to figure out how to do that, because he was using like a program that was intended for 2nd graders with 16-year-olds, which will be, so those things are happening, and so there's a lot of work to do. I can't guarantee that any curriculum would turn anything around ever.
Yeah.
It's just the one that I believe gives us the most stability and the access to the most resources.
And that's probably going on in a lot of classrooms because the teacher is with the student. So they know that he might need whatever they're making, a little makeshift something, but it's helping them learn their addition or their whatever, because like you said, you're in accounting and you can't multiply. How are you going to succeed in the classroom?
Right, and that really opened my eyes to like, wait a second, okay, I have to support this teacher to find something to help the students, but I also have to help the kids because they're sitting there not feeling like they can do it. So to start with extra math when you're 16, and that's tough.
The reality.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. No, it's just, you know, no, it wasn't like that. It's just thank you because there's so much to take in. There's so many different levels to it. If you haven't been there, you don't know. And if we're starting at kindergarten or first grade, yeah, we got those fifth and sixth graders that are already here. How do we get everybody caught up?
Yeah, I just want to work with you on the difference between thank you and
Thank you.
thank you. There's a, just saying.
Thank you.
Did she roll the neck when she did it?
No,
I couldn't even see it. I felt it. It was on my back though.
not this time. Not this time. Okay. So Rogers is yes. Davis,
Yes.
Kamal,
Yes.
Kennard. Jackson
No.
and Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. Next.
The next one is move that the Board of Education approves the purchase for implementation of HMH into reading ELA curriculum and purchase physical materials. Rationale, staff feedback, and instructional review indicate the current ELA curriculum is not vertically aligned between elementary and middle school, creating gaps in continuity and challenges for students' transitions. Implementing a cohesive K-8 curriculum will ensure alignment, strengthen instructional consistency, and support improved student outcomes. The Houghton Mifflin Hocourt Into Reading Program has received strong positive feedback from elementary staff for its rigor, usability, and standards alignment. Approval of this purchase, including physical materials, will include the necessary resources to support high-quality, aligned instruction across grade levels. Budget implications is 3J.
Support.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Rogers, supported by Davis. Any discussion? Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Davis?
Yes.
Kennard? Yes. Kamal?
Yes.
Jackson?
No.
And Laster?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now at the report of the Director of Operations, the great Jason Perkins, and he has an action item.
I didn't know if you were going to get the great. I wanted to see. Feeling a little bit better, aren't you?
Follow that up, no
You're
problem.
feeling a little bit better.
So give you guys a little background. I received a call a couple weeks ago when we were having the high winds and storms that it was actually, it was raining in Romulus Elementary. So upon further investigation and investigating the roof, a portion of the roof peeled back. It's actually pretty common in commercial roofs. Peeled back, and 2 offices were damaged underneath as a result. So we immediately had some roofers out. He put a temporary fix on it. We called the insurance adjusters. We had a restoration company out for the interior work. We received a few estimates. If you guys may or may not remember, too, that Romulus Elementary is the only building in the district with the original roof on it. All the other buildings have new roofs under warranty on them. Romulus Elementary, probably, I'm guessing, based on the age, because it was built in 2000, wasn't quite ready for a roof, although it is now. So, but we're not looking to do that just yet. Right now, we just want to have it repaired for the start of school, because if we're going to replace the entire roof, I want to bid it out. I want a more comprehensive investigation of the current condition of the roof, which we haven't had a chance to do because this was an emergency. So I had the insurance adjuster out, and insurance is covering it, but insurance won't pay the company directly. So we still have to have the board approve it as a purchase, pay for it, and then get reimbursed by the insurance. So that's why it's in front of you today. So I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding the roof. It's consortium bid, so it's prevents us from needing to go out to a public bid. So they're part of the consortium where it's pre-bid. We still got 3 estimates anyway, but it is a TIPS consortium purchase as well.
One thing about Adam, he gonna follow the rules then some. Sorry. Jason, and I was looking at Adam. I apologize, but Adam too.
So, Madam President, I have a
Yes.
question. So who were the other?
Can we read
Oh,
the
Kamal
motion?
was first.
Can we read the
No,
motion?
we need to read the motion
I need to
first.
read the motion
Okay.
before we have questions and discussion.
Thank you.
Recommended motion, move that the Board of Education award the roofing repair project to Sheena Roofing for the amount of $111,950 to be reimbursed by the insurance in full. Rationale, storm of a few weeks ago caused damage to Romulus Elementary roof and interior. Budget implications are the 11-261-5995-040-00000. And the attachments are agreed.
You missed a 0.
0. Exhibit is attached.
Support.
Motion by Rogers, supported by Davis. Now the discussion.
Have discussion.
Trustee Kamal.
I just wanted to know, where it says material escalation, would insurance cover that as well?
Yes,
Okay.
100% covered by insurance, yes.
Treasurer Kennard.
Who were the other two vendors that you?
We actually received an estimate from the gentleman who put the roofs here in Romulus School District on the other buildings, and then a third company, I think it was Andy's Roofing was the name of it. I could send them to you if you'd
No,
like,
no,
or
no,
show them as
just
needed.
be inquisitive.
Yeah.
And so what was the implication as to why you chose this one over the other two? Was it a cost factor? Was it the quality of service? Or what
Sure.
is
So
it?
they were actually more expensive, this company. So, and probably a reason why they had better ratings. They're a union company. The other two companies were non-union that the restoration company was recommending. I'm not a fan of that. I'd never heard of the other companies. I've replaced roofs in my last district, several, and I've never heard of the companies who they were recommending, opposed to the company that I'm recommending today, who's a huge reputable company in Southeast Michigan, who does lots of school work. So internet reviews, interviews, just talking with them and just saying, hey, are you qualified for this job? And this is the company that we felt the best with.
So you might have answered this already, but have you utilized this company before with any of your
So,
endeavors?
full transparency, in my last district, they did a roof repair for me in my last district. I have no relationship with them, but I have used the company before.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm done.
Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Davis.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Kamal.
Yes.
Laster.
Yes.
Kennard.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you for the support, Board of Education. And my plan is to have this together back before the start of school. That's going to be a task because we're also redoing the parking lot there. So for the roofers to get into the parking lot, you can imagine what this is like. Now it's crunch time, but that's my goal, and I think we can. I think it's an obtainable goal. So, thanks.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out, especially the cabinet members and the board members. Wouldn't be possible without having you guys here. I love driving past the high school and seeing the parking lot. I text Jason like, I love it. Oh my God, they're on the next part. So it's just exciting to see. And just want to just send condolences to Asia's family, one of our students that passed away. Dr. Emerson did provide me with her mother's number, so I did give my condolences, and she was thankful. On behalf of the board, I did, and just her services are this weekend. And I was just thankful that our photographer did capture some beautiful pictures of her, like beautiful pictures to give to her family. So just sad because life is but a vapor. And, just to make it to that milestone and not here anymore, definitely unfortunate. So just wanted to send condolences and prayers to her family. And again, thank everybody for coming out. Trustee Kamal? Treasurer Kennard? Madam Secretary?
I'm good.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Vice President? I know, Dr. Emerson.
Thank you. I appreciate that. First of all, I want to thank you for reaching out to Ms. Wilson. So did I. One of the hardest things that I have to do in my role. I don't even know if every superintendent chooses to do that. I do. It's just hard. Heart goes out for the family, for the student. Talked to some other students about it. The mother was just really gracious in that time, and just gave me facts. So I feel much better based on the facts that she shared with me. I'm not going to share it publicly, but I felt better about things because it was a shocker for me. But now having some other information, kind of understood. Doesn't make it easy though. There is a GoFundMe out there. If you can, if you can't, that's fine. I mean, it's just out there. So if you want to check, please do. So not a great moment for us, but still a good moment for us because we were there for the mom. And as I said, grieving is a process. It's a journey. It's not going to just be one day and everybody, you're fine. It just doesn't work that way. On a much lighter note, I'm very excited. My father is coming to town, and he's 91, and my son and his wife are coming, and my grandson. It was just, again, I joke with you all, but I feel very blessed and fortunate to have you all as a board. We'll be having somebody in front of you. We made an offer today. I met with the young lady for Director of Special Services. I felt really, really good, really, really good. And I do. I feel really, really good about this young lady. I think that she's definitely going to make a difference here. I'm very excited about her. But I go back to you all because she asked me during her second interview. Now, today was different. This was the third one. It's just with the superintendent. She asked me on the second one and the team, but she started with me. She said, "What keeps you here?" And I said, "Well, that's the easy answer for me." I said, "The school board keeps me here. That's why I stay." I said, "I've had one where it didn't work out, and I've had other ones where it didn't work out, but I'm just very thankful for having a school board that works with me. You all know what I've been through. I don't continue to always talk about it, but it's still there. And I thank you for embracing me still. Okay, I'm not perfect, clearly. I'm not perfect, but I really appreciate working with a doggone good board. And we don't always have to agree, but how we do business is right. And I like that we do business right. You can have fun at a board table. So thank you so much. And I appreciate that. We have our tickets for sale. You know, I'm a salesman. Tickets for sale. Treasurer Kennard, I got you. I got you, lady. We here. We got the tickets. But if you can come out, the weather's supposed to be terrible. But if you could come out on the Tuesday, I would love to see you there, just shaking hands, kissing baby. You know, this is an election year, right? I just want to make sure that there's a board election year. So I'd like to see you there, kissing babies, shaking hands and whatnot. So if you can come there, we would appreciate that. Was that your thank you? Oh, I thought you were saying thank you, sending me off. You could do that too. But I also want to thank the committee. We worked really hard as we do on this Birdies for Eagles. We work really hard. We have a good amount of money now. We're not where I want to be, but we have a very good amount of money that people are investing in our community, in our kids. And as I remind our directors, and I will say to you, most things are about relationships. It's about relationships. People believe in you. They trust you. They'll do for you. So thank you so much. I hope to see you on Tuesday. If not, be well. My dad's here. My family's here. I'm so excited this weekend. And my dad's coming to, God willing, he's coming to the golf outing, kind of see what I do. So thank you. Have a great day.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in
All
favor?
in favor? 5:36.
Gucci.
Still need that?